Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a question that I receive all of the time. What made you want to become a professional life coach? So I thought, why not sit down and just create a video talking more about my journey, what inspired me to become a professional life coach. If this is something that you're interested in hearing about, great. If you're not, then that's perfect too, and you can click off this video. I'm going to start by talking about my own journey. When I was around 18, 19 years old, I was going through lots of different things, very difficult, challenging things in my life, which I won't go into because it'll make this video very long. In short, my mum didn't really know what to do with me, and she asked if I wanted to go and have a conversation with someone. I didn't really know what that conversation would entail. Actually, it turned out to be really powerful, really helpful. I don't remember exactly what was said in that room because, for reference, I am now 33 years old at the time of recording this video. I am 33. People often like to tell me that I'm not, and I suppose I can take that as a compliment, but I am 33. Long story short, it really helped me. I got a lot from that conversation. And actually, as it turns out, years later, I went to a careers workshop that this female coach that I had the session with was running. We were talking about things that we might want to do because I was still at the stage of my life, because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. All of the values that are surrounding coaching showed up. It's like connecting with people, having deep transformational conversations with people, helping people, connecting on a deeper level, things like after that session that I had and the workshop that I also attended, and I discovered more about myself and my values and what's important to me, I had a lot of life happen to me. When I was around 23, 24, I made the choice to move by myself alone to New Zealand, Auckland, where I lived for 2 years. I had a place to live. I was very much living there. I wasn't traveling or anything like that. Worked in Kiwi companies and really had a great time. During that time, I met a man who I ended up getting into a relationship with. When I then moved to Australia after my time in New Zealand had ended, he came out to see me. I would say the nature of this relationship was very much unhealthy, dysfunctional, just not very good for either of us. 25, 26 at the time of getting into that relationship, I really didn't have the tools to see all of this. I really didn't know any better. When he came out to see me in Australia, long story short, the relationship had turned physical at that point, physically abusive. I made the choice to leave the hotel room that we were staying in after he came back after an argument drunk, and I made the choice to leave the relationship. I left the room, left all my things in the room, and I never saw or spoke to him again. That time in around 2021, he did pass away. The point of this, guys, is experience was really the catalyst to my healing in my life, as well as all the other things that I was experiencing before I made the choice to move to New Zealand. I also experienced anxiety, some family issues, depression, insomnia, knowing what I wanted to do in my life. My life's been a bit of a movie. The years of my 20s, there was a lot going on. After I made the choice to leave that relationship, within myself, I started to think, okay, maybe I should reach out to a therapist or a coach or something, because I was really asking why I got myself into that kind of dynamic in the first place. I actually had a time in my life, because of what I experienced, because of the hurt that I was feeling and not understanding it. I also had a very short period in my life really didn't like men. See men make comments about women online. I really feel their pain because it's something that I can resonate with when I hadn't yet healed and looked at why I got into that kind of dynamic in the first place. Spent the time in Australia and I'd done a little bit of healing by myself, but not anything very in-depth, not very detailed, certainly not with any professional. It was all through introspection, books and videos and things like that, learning a little bit more about attachment theory, spirituality and self-worth and what we think about ourselves, etc. Everything that I help people with today. After I did some traveling, I moved back to the UK. It was around this time, around COVID time, that I made the choice to finally deal with everything that had happened in my life, the family stuff, the relationship stuff, the insomnia, the anxiety, the thinking that I had about myself. It was a lot. And this is why I'm working with my 6th life coach at the moment, not because I need to, because I feel like I've healed a lot of that, and I understand a lot of how I created my experience. In those earlier years of working with those previous 5 coaches, it was very much needing to really sit and heal and understand all of this. Because the thing is, guys, is that I spent quite a bit of time after that relationship making myself a victim because I didn't understand, and I blamed him. Really blamed him a lot. But the thing that helped me to let go and really forgive myself and forgive him was really seeing the thinking and beliefs that I had about myself that got me into that kind of dynamic in the first place. A lot with people where men and women will complain about the kind of dynamic that they're in, but they won't take the time to really slow down and think, okay, well, why did I accept this kind of relationship in the first place? Why did I allow this kind of behavior to continue when I saw this and this and this? Didn't know any better. Even talking about this now is very interesting for me because it feels like I'm talking about someone else. It feels very far removed. That's why it's testing my mind thinking back to these experiences, because it almost doesn't even feel like myself. To the UK, I also qualified to be a transformational life coach. I have my qualification in transformational life coaching, working with going deep and doing my own healing, receiving a lot of powerful, life-changing work with these amazing coaches connected with today who are truly earth angels. I then set up my business, started helping people. I have been doing this work now for the last 5 years, and in that time have been mainly working with men. I would say the reason I made the choice to do this work and become a transformational life coach because of the experiences that I've had in my life, my own work that I've done on myself extensively throughout the last 5-6 years, working with different coaches, working on different things, going very deep into understanding how I create my experience and understanding my mind, understanding a lot of different things, learning about money, learning about consciousness, really healing and coming from a powerful conscious place in my own life. I think what really made me want to become a professional life coach goes back to when I was also a little girl. Before everything that I've shared with you today, when I was younger, I have always been someone that asked the deep, insightful questions. I was always a bit quirky, should we say. I was always asking, why am I here? Always questioning what I was here to do. There's lots of different reasons as to why I truly believe that this is my purpose. And the other thing that I want to share with you that I found really interesting in the time when I was living in Australia, I went through a bit of a period, a couple of years, where I always like to see at least one tarot card reader every year. It's just a thing that I got into, and I got connected with this amazing woman in the area that I was living in Melbourne. She was very incredible, very talented at what she does for numerous different reasons. The key that I want to share with you guys is that she shared with me that she could see that I would help men. At that point, I didn't have my qualification in coaching. I wasn't a coach, anything to do with that. I was working for the state government in Melbourne in Australia. That was really interesting to hear all of these years later when I accidentally started working with men and fell into working primarily with men, helping them with how they feel about themselves and thus helping them to have more grounded, healthy, loving experiences with women. I believe that that's really the reason that I do the work that I do. I truly believe that this is my purpose. Nothing else that I would want to do. I've done a lot of other jobs in the past. I've worked with different companies, and working for myself for so many reasons is incredible. I love the freedom, I love being my own boss, and I love the amazing people that I get to meet and work with, and I feel so inspired by their vulnerability and their rawness to really look into who they are and to challenge some of the thinking that they have about themselves. Because again, guys, I've been on this journey, so I know how hard and uncomfortable and awkward it can feel at times, because I've been in this very chair being challenged by my coaches and continue to, and it's very exciting. That's everything. That is the reason as to why I started this work, and I'm really excited where it's going to take me. As I said, I've been doing this for 5 years now, and I'm really excited what's going to happen in the next 5 years, because as well as having my own private practice where I work with people, I also work with doctors too. Really exciting to see where else this work will take me. I hope this has been helpful, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.